The 2025 Liga MX season is underway, and there are plenty of teams looking to challenge for silverware this year. With widespread managerial changes and key signings leading up to the Clausura, the race for the title is heating up. Club America, the reigning champions, have dominated the league with 3 consecutive titles. But will 2025 bring an end to their reign? If so, which teams are most likely to knock them off their porch? For me, Toluca are much closer to a Liga MX title than what anyone would consider. They were one of the most exciting teams in the Apertura, even if they were disappointing in the playoffs with a quarter-final exit to Club America. Manager Renato Paiva's exit left many people surprised given the squad's potential. Despite his unexpected departure, the club have replaced him with Antonio Mohamed, which could be a game changer. Mohamed is a 3-time Liga MX champion, having guided the likes of Club America and Monterrey to championships, as well as handing Los Xolos Tijuana their one and only title. Toluca have put together one of the best teams in Mexican football, with key players like Paulinho, who signed for the club in the summer and has scored 14 goals in 20 appearances. There's also the dynamic duo of Jesus Angelo and Alexis Vega, and their most recent signing, Helio Junio from RB Bragantino in Brazil, who has scored 2 goals in 2 games to start the Clausura, including a stunning goal to draw 1-1 with Monterrey. In the winter, the club signed Hector Herrera, a player with over 100 caps for the Mexican national team, a player that I think could bring key experience and leadership to what is a young team. However, the question remains, can Toluca end a 15-year wait for a Liga MX title? For a team that's won the 3rd most in history, their recent years have left a lot to be desired. Yes, guys, if you are enjoying this video, make sure to like and hit that subscribe button. I'm from the UK and I watch a lot of Mexican football and I love talking about it. And I'd love to talk more about it with you guys. Let me know where you're from, which teams you support or which teams you don't like. I'd love to know all about that and the reasons why you follow Mexican football. If you are enjoying this video, like I say, make sure to show some love for it. I'm trying to hit 500 subscribers so I can keep going and make more content for you guys. But yeah, with all that being said, let's get back to the video. Cruz Azul were the ultimate underachievers last time round in the Apertura. They won the regular season with just 1 defeat, but they ultimately crashed out in the semi-finals of the playoffs to their city rivals Club America. Unlike Toluca, Cruz Azul opted to strengthen their squad rather than managerial changes, but given the recent news this week regarding the future of Martin Anselmi, it could be the worst start possible for Cruz Azul in the Clausura, as they might have to start looking for replacements for their Argentine manager. More on that in a second as we look at the actual squad of La Máquina, because not only did they record the best defensive record, but they also did for the best offensive record during the regular season. Despite that, they managed to sign Jesus Orozco from Chivas, a player that was highly rated and expected to go to Europe, but with a disappointing Apertura campaign, he switched the city of Guadalajara for the capital city to join Cruz Azul. Even in attack, they've signed Luca Romero, a young winger from AC Milan, who spent the last couple of years on loan away from Italy, but he's a player that's come into Cruz Azul, and many people expect him to do big things in the Clausura. Despite their numbers in the regular season, the big problem for me regarding Cruz Azul is just their mentality in the big games. We know that they can do it in the regular season, we've seen it, but when it comes to the playoffs, that's where the problems start to show. Even against Tijuana in the quarterfinals, they just about scraped through despite an awful first leg. And then when they played Club America, we all know that they crumbled. That is a game that they should have won it. They did win that game in the regular season, a team that they lost to in the final of the Clausura last year, so they've got a history with Club America, but they just couldn't get over the line in the semi-finals of the Apertura. So can they get around that this time around? Time will only tell, but the fact that Anselmi has decided to leave the club right at the start of the Clausura says a lot. Martin Anselmi has really turned Cruz Azul around. Before he joined, they weren't even reaching the playoffs. They were struggling right at the very bottom of the table. But since he's joined, he's taken them to a Clausura final, an Apertura semi-final. He's incredibly bolstered the squad. The squad is one of the best in the league. There's absolutely no doubts about that. They've proven that. But it's about taking it one step further. They really struggled in the playoffs against Tijuana in the quarterfinals. They just about scraped through. And as we saw against Club America, they really didn't live up to the occasion. Club America are the mentality warriors. They know how to get over the line. Despite a terrible season from them, they managed to go all the way and win it. But that's because the teams like Toluca and Cruz Azul just could not live up to the hype that they built themselves in the regular season. And more on Martin Anselmi, it looks like right at the start, after just 2 games in the Clausura, that he's going to switch Mexico City for Porto, as he's set to replace Sergio Conceição at the club. His departure from Cruz Azul is a massive blow. We know that he's made Cruz Azul a stable team, but he's made them defensively sound and offensively very impressive as well. We know that Cruz Azul have all the tools to go on and win a Liga MX title, but can they find the right man to motivate them and just get them over the line? Los Rayados shouldn't be underdogs, but that's kind of how I see them at the moment. No club has made more high-profile signings, but with names such as Sergio Canales, Lucas Ocampos, Oliver Torres, they should be doing more. Even in the winter just gone, they managed to convince Pachuca star Nelson de Oesa to sign for the club in what was a very under-the-radar move, but they've got a very stacked midfield. All of that being said, for me, something is just missing from Monterrey. Herman Berterame looks reliable and solid up front, but other than him, they're just missing something in front of goal. Other than Berterame and Sergio Canales, no other player has scored more than 5 goals since the start of the Apertura, which isn't great given all of the star power they have. Somewhat against all expectations, Martin de Michelis managed to guide Monterrey to an Apertura final against Club America, but they just looked off the pace. So the big question here is, with the return of Andrade, with the signing of De Oesa, has Martin de Michelis done enough to turn Monterrey into a title contending team? As for their city rivals, Tigres, they may have fallen flat in the Apertura, but they are a team that needs close attention for the Clausura. Veljko Paunovic is one of the best managers in the league, in my opinion, and he's now had 1 full season, well, in terms of the Apertura, he's had 1 full season in charge of Tigres, and he's got a very strong squad to choose from. They've started the Clausura with 2 wins from 2, even getting revenge on Athletic de San Luis, who they lost to in the quarterfinals of the Apertura. Whilst we talk about goals being problems for Monterrey, I think it's also a bit of an issue for Tigres if we look at their record from the Apertura. Only Andre Pierre-Gignac, a 37-year-old, scored more than 5 goals. He scored 5 in 17 games, I believe. But across the rest of the team, despite all of the quality of it they've got, they just haven't scored that many goals. However, it is worth mentioning the talent they have on display. The likes of Fernando Gorrian, Diego Lainez, Osiel Herrera and Juan Bruneta could all make a difference on their day. This is a team that I think could fly under the radar, whilst everyone will be looking at Club America, whether they can get a 4th consecutive title, how Cruz Azul can respond to 2 disappointing campaigns, Toluca and their new manager. I think Tigres could be a team that no one gives so much attention to, but they could go on and make a real difference in the Clausura. Those are some of my recommendations for teams that you need to be looking out for in 2025 across the Liga MX. Let me know your thoughts down below, and if you have any questions, I'd love to answer them. But until next time, guys, peace out.